What is up, gamers? It's your boy the Goods, and we are back for episode number 18 of Narcissu. We are on Narcissu 2nd, and today we're going to be doing chapter 14, Taboo. Took a little bit of a break playing mobile games on my cell phone, so I don't even remember exactly where we're at. Here, today's lunch. I'll be going. Just like always, with lunch in hand, I headed to the hospital. Even though it was already halfway through August, the hot days still seemed to be continuing. The elevator bell rang. The 7th floor. To the nurses whose faces I'd become familiar with, I lowered my head slightly in greeting. What I then saw in the hall was a number of patients. Since it was right when the morning temperature examination ended, they'd probably come with their helper for a walk. Suddenly, while looking at those people with white wristbands, a thought came to me. The residents of the 7th floor, couldn't they be divided into two groups? The patients who seemed to have almost taken a philosophical view and were calm, and those who seemed always busy doing something. It's fine. I'll be firmly supporting you. Hearing a voice I recognized, I turned around, and there was Chihiro-san. She was with an elderly lady in a wheelchair. Most likely, that person was Chihiro-san's assigned person. Say, I'll walk again later. Could we do that? Let's see. When the sun weakens a bit more, let's go out to the courtyard. With a calm way of speaking, she turned her usual gentle face to the elderly lady. Say, Chihiro-san, would you do that thing you always do? Yes, I can. I thought she would answer that way, as she quietly joined her hands, and lead us not into temptation. And she offered up a prayer, a number of other words following. Say, Setsumi-san, do you always pray like that? Yes, because praying for something is a good thing. Chihiro-san, Jesus, answered with her usual kind expression. But at those words, I felt something that nagged at me. For someone, that was why I tried asking a direct question. It can't be for yourself. There her words stopped. There was no more response from her. The usual gentle face was also gone. The first time I saw that expression on Chihiro-san, a simply troubled face was looking at me. After knocking, I opened the door. Like before, Himeko-san was gazing at maps. At my entering the hospital room, she just gave me a brief glance, her eyes soon returning. Is it interesting? Does it seem that way? As I answered, I sat down next to her and gazed at the maps also. Just as I thought, this sort of activity couldn't be considered fun, but these maps, what were they to Himeko-san, I wonder? Even the 7th floor people who seemed to have taken philosophical views on everything, perhaps they too wavered with some regrets. If one were to give a comparison, then we are the condemned. We've been only informed that we will die, but that day, when it will come, is unknown, so we're hounded by that limited time. The condemned. Now that she said it, one could almost agree. Just as I'd thought before, on the 7th floor there were people who were always busy. Rather, one could even think that because they knew they were dying, so they were trying to be lively. It's like 11 o'clock. I've been sleeping late as fuck, so I should be fine. I don't know why I'm so tired. Or perhaps, for people, being aware of death, maybe that's the first time they're also able to become aware of life. The ones who are calm, those are probably the ones who have already prepared themselves. Or perhaps those who are pretending they have. And Himeko-san is, of course, the latter. At this age, there isn't anyone who could prepare themselves. She declared it plainly. If that weren't true, then I wouldn't be talking about the 10 things I want to do before dying, now would I? Just saying that, once again, Himeko-san gazed at the maps. Then she turned to me, who was gazing at the maps in the same way. Setsumi, your hair. It's growing long, isn't it? It might be. Now that she mentioned it, it might have gotten a bit longer. This month, Mother hadn't cut it for me yet. Shall I cut it for you? Come, One-san will here, we'll cut it for you. All of this, at the sudden offer, I really couldn't grasp the situation, but with Himeko-san already walking ahead, I followed after. Then, when we came in front of the nurse's station, she turned to the nurse inside. Hey, I'd like to go up, so could you lend it to me? There's nothing wrong with that. Is it a haircut? Yes, there's no wind today, after all. Then, after taking something for the nurse, Himeko-san once again walked down the hall. Setsumi, over here. Walking a bit, the place we finally stopped at was at the end of the hall. To be correct, it was just where you got off the emergency stairs, in front of an always closed large metal door. Up until now, I'd never seen it opened, but most likely this was the entrance for the roof. Ta-da! And here, the key comes on stage. The heavy metal door creaked. For a second, the world turned pure white. When my eyes adjusted, what appeared before me was strong winds, summer sky, high fence, Many laundered sheets fluttered in the wind. Today the weather's nice, isn't it? It's perfect haircutting weather. Looking up at the sky, Himeko-san spoke. This is the first time, right? Come here. First. Well, that's normal. For hospitalized patients, it's a place they're absolutely forbidden to come, after all. That reason, even without saying, can be imagined. A fence about the same height as the 7th floor ceiling. What reason put it there was simple if you thought about it. So, shall we cut hair? We're really going to do it. It'll be fine. Even looking like this, One-san here is good at it. As she spoke, she pointed to a small bench before us. So, first have a seat there. And then she took out a big, clear, white garbage bag. Next, put your head through here. Probably cut with scissors, there was a hole just large enough to pass one's head through the garbage bag. When I put my head through as told, like a barbershop's cover, it totally covered my body. And then, before my eyes, she made the scissors go swish swish. Well, miss, how long will you like it? Miss, a summary short, how does that sound? Just a trim. Understood. While laughing and running through with a brush, Himeko-san, with a practiced hand, then began cutting. The delightful sounding swish of scissors. Just now, she seemed to be trimming the hair in the back for me. If she cuts it strangely, that'd be bad. While holding that thought, I also considered other things. She said that hospitalized patients couldn't come to this place, or hospital patients couldn't come to this place. The reason even I could understand and be satisfied with. Then, unheeding of the fact that she was a resident of the 7th floor, why was it that Himeko-san could come here like this? Was it because she was a former helper, so she's trusted? Hey, Setsumi, what you're concerned about? Is it your own hair? Or is it something else, perhaps? The something else. It's fine, we'll answer it for you. Jesus, fuck, can I talk? By being a former helper and therefore being trusted, that's not the reason. Then what? See, even in these modern times. See, it's one of the prohibited acts for Catholics. At first, I didn't understand what she was saying, but I soon realized suicide. For a former Catholic, you're still trusted, aren't you? Really, it makes you want to betray their expectations on a whim and try jumping past the fence, doesn't it? As always, Himeko-san said something where I couldn't tell if she was serious or joking. Though likely she wasn't, but just if suddenly she ran towards the fence, what would I do? Right now, I was the only one here. Somehow, while thinking only about that, I started feeling uneasy. Okay, something like this perhaps. Alright, miss, the cutting is over. Thank you. As I replied, I accepted the hand mirror and looked at my hair. Wow, these bangs! When I looked, about 2 centimeters above the eyebrows, it was cut straight across. It's like a Japanese doll, or a child at the Shichi-Go-san festival. It's cute, Setsumi. Well, you were busy worrying about other things after all. You're a girl, so you should worry about your own hair. At my somewhat sulking face, Himeko-san looked like she was enjoying herself even more. No matter how much you say it suits me, or is cute, laughing like that, there's no persuasive force behind it. Helplessly, I gave a sigh. Then I asked about the thing I had sensed from before. Say, this is just maybe, but are you seeing someone else in me? Quite the perceptive question, that one. And then, when she thought a bit, half of it might be that. Then the remaining half? That's a secret. This was also made a secret. It was the same with the rules from before. Once in a while, there were things that Himeko-san wouldn't talk about. Well, should we go back? Putting away the scissors she used, the two of us then cleaned the space of Himiko's barber shop. Fuck. And then, just when I thought she was walking towards the door we entered from, suddenly those feet stopped and turned around. Ah, that's right. About that final one. I'm thinking it might be about time. The final one. About time. Most likely it was referring to what she had mentioned before, the 10 things to do before dying. Are you planning on going somewhere again? Yes, at the least. Here is no good. This height, it's not enough. Was she saying that for jumping off it wasn't enough? Those were her words as she pointed towards the rooftop fence. This is something you don't know, but to be honest, should be around my second time. What's this about? The number of times for being admitted into the hospital. Though because I have connections, I was always here. And then I was told that the third time was the last, there is no fourth. But yeah, it looks like my strength's close to its limit, you see. Seeking out of the hospital also, I think this will also be the last time. Anyway, I think coming back on the same day would be impossible, but if it's okay, come with me. What? Slowly, the sky stained orange. As the burning sun sank and the loud Min Zemi switched over to Higurashi, the place I suddenly stopped at was the usual schoolyard. Not really doing anything, just standing in front of the metal bar thinking about the things from just before. One-chan, do you want to play with the bar? Perhaps out of consideration for me being there, a child playing nearby once again spoke to me. "It's fine, don't mind me." Their reply, even while giving me a somehow mystified look, the child once again ran back to the group of friends who were playing. Just before, Himeko-san said that returning on the same day was impossible. Where we were going, she didn't know yet, but I was told to make sure to get Mother's permission. "If it's okay, come with me. I won't force you." Even saying that, when you spend close to a month together and then say this would be the last. Again, the two of us ate today's dinner. Atop the table were the usual dishes and fried things. Looking pleased, Mother beamed at the empty lunchbox. Even during the dinner that was the same as always, I was thinking about what happened earlier. "Say, Mother, something the matter? I've been invited to go on a drive again." "Ah, isn't that great? That Himeko-san, right?" But this time we'll be staying one night." "That's fine, it doesn't matter." Despite the possibility of what if, she easily gave her permission. "Then I'll make lunch for you again, okay?" Thank you." I'll do my best making them again." "Oh, that's right, today's wasn't that bad either." Saying that, the plate she offered up was the usual fries. "Oh, what's wrong? You like fries, don't you?" So naturally, very matter-of-factly, Mother offered them, seeming very pleased. But on those hands wasn't a pink manicure. Instead, a slightly reddened hand happily offered the plate. For fries, all I had to do was quietly eat them. No matter how much I hated them, if I endured it, it was fine. But was this really kindness, I wonder? Suddenly I was reminded of Himeko-san's words. Even if whoever was punishing us were to not give us a pardon, I really wanted to say, "I'm sorry." To Mother, to Himeko-san. "Say, Mother," I gathered my courage and brought things to light. "Himeko-san is someone from the 7th floor." "Eh? What's the 7th floor?" "The hospice." Ah, she's a nurse there." It might have been perfectly natural, but that's how she was thought of. "A patient there." "What's was that?" "The hospice's patient." "Eh? The hospice's patient?" A long, very long silence. The voice of the host on the television, not his words but his noise, rang out. In reality, it might have been a very short time, but for me it felt unbearably long. I thought just maybe, never again would time move. It seemed that never again could something go back to how it was, and I was afraid. Mother started crying. Already the smile that had been there before was gone. A hand holding a croquet was where it had stopped. Even though she had been so happy that I made a friend, if I hadn't revealed it, even now, she would have been smiling. "Stop, Setsumi. Getting close to that sort of person. Your mom is afraid. When I think that someday you might also wind up like that. I'm sorry." As expected, I had no other words. That isn't kindness. Words which Himeko-san said to me, who silently ate the fries. But putting that into action, I had been told it would be very difficult. That's crazy. That's nuts. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time when we do chapter 15. See if she actually gets to go. But I think she might be in some trouble. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!